Mara, let's get to you. I spoke with Mara a little bit before this call. I said, hey, I want to hear what your best deal was of 2025.
Once you guys had integrated with DataFlick, that was before the DataSift, I immediately joined. As you guys know, the minute you launch something, I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. That's it. You don't have to even talk about it. And lo and behold, we literally, with DataFlick alone, we made almost like 300 grand just only. Not even like with PropStream. I'm like Eddie. I'm old school with PropStream. I've been with PropStream for since 2019. I have like over 200,000 records that I don't need, by the way. Um, and so I've been like, no, PropStream, I don't care if I don't eat. PropStream is going to get paid before anybody eats in my house. That kind of thing. And once I didn't even know anything about DataFlick. I didn't even know that was possible, but I just loved that DataFlick was automatically adding records that I normally wouldn't add, which is people who own more than like three to four. I cap it at people who own no more than like three to four maybe properties. Because just like Eddie, like I don't want to deal with people who don't want to deal with me. Like, other investors, no offense, even though now I'm changing that though, a little bit, okay? But like I don't deal with LLCs. I don't deal hardly with trust, to be honest. I'm like, if you're that smart to put yourself in a trust, to put yourself in an LLC, all of this little protection stuff, no offense. I mean, this is behind the scenes. We wouldn't say this publicly.
Sure.
You're too smart. You know it all. Go to an agent. You're not from me. My customers, my people are the people who don't have options, who don't know what the hell to do, and I'm here to save the day. Like those are the people that I want to deal with. But anyway, so in November alone, we made like close to 50 grand just with a tired landlord. Okay, tired landlord. She came in through DataFlick. We would have never looked at her date, like her stuff. She was out of state. So it checked all the boxes. By the way, she had her properties under her name, but she had 8 properties. So once again, it was not going through. So it opened up my eyes to be like, well, okay, Mara, I know you don't want to deal with all of these people who have all these properties, but look, she was tired, she was done. And by the way, she only gave us two so far, because this was towards the end of the year. But she loves us. We work with our attorney, and we're here in Florida. So Florida, you can work with title companies, but I specifically work with an attorney because a lot of my competition love ya, but you're scared to work with. So that's my little ammo. Like I'm like, listen, we work with an attorney, all of the stuff. My buyers, they allow me to say put 20,000 down EMD. Unlike Eddie, I'm like a dollar. Like what? They would literally
Yeah.
laugh at me, but I go in and I'm like, we're putting $10,000 or $20,000 non-refundable. We're closing in 5 days. Like this is a done deal. We're closing with our attorney. So even if somebody were to come and offer a little bit more, my terms are just bulletproof. So they're going to go with me. And especially because they want out right now. So out of all of her properties, the two were the worst. So she really wanted to get rid of those. However, there was like a little something here. There was an agent involved. So there was another sheriff in town. Okay. So,
Uh-oh.
I don't like to deal with, again, realtors, sorry, but I don't. You're in my way. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. I don't like it. I like to be the only sheriff there, handling it all because I have control. Just like Eddie, I'm like, Eddie, you're like my best friend because we're both like literally the same. Like I don't, no one knows about my deals. No one, I'm a shark. Like I just go in and go out. Like you're never gonna see my deals posted anywhere, and no one will ever blast my deals because they're going directly to my buyers, my trusted buyers who have given us over millions of dollars thus far. So they don't care about anything. So it's like I have them in my back pocket, so to speak. But the point is that if it wasn't for DataFlick, I feel like DataFlick saved my ass last year, I'll be honest. Because we were doing bulk dialing, bulk texting. Eddie only has one market. I'm like, I have nine. What's wrong with me? I need to go to a mental institution because I'm like, why do I have nine marketing streams? Like for my business, you know? But we were still hitting walls, guys. So don't get too excited over it because I think we were stretching ourselves too thin. We're all over the place. We're like, throwing spaghetti at the wall and all of this stuff. And this year, I'm still going to, like, I'm cleaning up everything, removing it all, and just focused on click to call, SMS. I also love SMS. We just closed another deal we just closed one on Friday for 20 grand. That was SMS from start to finish. Again, data flick. I'm scared to say this because I know my competition's watching this. So that's why I'm like, do I really want to
Well,
share?
good for you. The good thing for you is Eddie's no longer near your market, so
No,
that's good.
stay away, Eddie. No, I'm
He
just kidding.
got the heck out of there. I think you probably like secretly intimidated him out of there or something. Maybe that's what he's not telling us.
No, but I have other sharks in my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, data flick now, data sift. So now that sift map. So I'm like Eddie, I'm like, okay, wow, 6 years later, I can say goodbye to prop stream. Like no one, I repeat, no one's been able to beat prop stream with regards to the simplicity of it all. I'm able to comp my stuff nice and easy. I'm able to see it. Like I don't have to click all over the place. Just one click. I'm seeing how much equity because that's literally who, that's what I go by, high equity. I don't deal with anything else. So yeah, data flick slash now data sift. So now that data the sift map is now going to be all intertwined. That's why I have the expert plan and it's worth every penny. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be talking to you guys. I would, God forbid, but I wouldn't because if you're doing bulk marketing, you're going to be dead in the water. Like that doesn't work anymore. You have to niche down. And then now with sift map, it's going to show us who we need to target and where do we need to spend our money? Because I was spending a boatload of money all over the place and sometimes not getting anywhere. And I'm like, what's happening? And it's because we're stretched too thin. So, but Data Flake, that was like my biggest thing. And I still have her. She's just like, because the agent was like, I think we should just cool it for a little bit because she's the property manager. So you see. So I'm trying to still chase after those. Hopefully it'll bring me like 300,000 with just
Dang.
alone, meaning with that seller alone.
Yeah, yeah. Just
So
working, kind of
yeah,
piecing out her portfolio as
yeah,
she's ready.
exactly. Like I sent her a Christmas gift and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like I'm still here, I'm able to
Hmm.
help and whatever. So we're still, again, it's all in the follow-ups.
I
That's
really think there's something like I don't know what it is, like how we explain it psychologically in a way for it to just click, but the ability to build rapport as fast as possible and then maintain it as long as possible.
Mhm.
There's, I'm sure there's a million tips, tricks, techniques that could go with that, but the ability to find someone who owns a crap ton of properties and know that if I play my cards right for the next decade, I probably have properties. It's like if you had five people like that and they all have 10 properties, I
You're
mean,
both.
it seems like
Yeah.
that's where we all need to be heading and in some stretch of that, whether it's, maybe that's 5% of our deals or, 5% of our even our opportunity, but to to find these people that have these portfolios, build a relationship and manage it over time seems to be more and more the case for people that are really finding good success long term. Um, Talk
Yes.
about putting some good roots in the ground for your company too.
Mhm. Yeah, so and then so like this year for 2026, like our mission and our goal is to be click to call, just very niche list from SIFMAP, based on data, 100%, and then direct mail. My dream, like if you were to ask me, what would be your dream come true? It would be like 100% direct mail. But still beat my because we have, Florida is a huge, it's really, we're like in the bullseye of all over, even out of state wholesalers and investors, like because it's just like easier. I don't know. We have like our rectangle, the land, especially land, right? Houses, all of it. It's just a lot more easier. Oh, so Larry said Georgia too. See, I don't know, but Florida, it's very competitive. So how are you going to outbeat them is these niche lists. And then also, like my competition, they'll be like, oh, I sent, $30,000 worth of mail and I didn't get crap. And I was like, I sent $100 and I already made $20,000,
Yep.
right? But it's because of DataSift. So I've been with DataSift for 2 years, so 2023, the ending of 2023. I'm telling you, you guys have brought in like almost $1 million since we started with you guys, additional from like what I did before.
Right.
And I'm like, but not only that, like you guys have saved my behind. Every time when I feel like I don't have anything, I don't have nothing, I'll go and I'll make a list of like 20 and I'll pull out $20,000 out of there.
Hmm.
So it's like, even if we feel like, hey, we don't have any deals, we don't have anything, you do. You just have like everything is just all over the place. And that's okay. Um,
Hmm.
Start stacking that list based on the filter presets. I'm guaranteeing it. You're going to find the deal.
Yeah.
Going to
And
find.
Eddie said it really well. I mean, well, he put it really well when he said he transferred over from PropStream. It's like that means he's looking at old stuff. He's not just looking at new things. There's obviously a critical component to real estate is getting some new data, but that's not where the majority of your stuff comes from. It's like what you're saying, Mara. It's the follow up. It's the relationships with the portfolios. It's the understanding who I didn't reach. It's all these things. So I'm trying to remember. It was Whitney that was asking this question earlier. These are the tidbits that like Eddie and Mara are talking about. That if you're able to just dial in early, that you don't need a ton of data, your month over month work output will be much more efficient. Your bank account will be much more happy in the sense that, your wealth will be maintaining as much as it's growing. It's not that you're spending money and you're losing it on one end to hopefully bring it back to that spot on the other end. Um, you know, the practices and the stuff that we're talking about here is designed to make sure that you're with us for a long time. Whitney, you're asking the right questions. We want you here as a customer 10 years from now. We don't want to get you a quick win and then you fizzle out. We want you to, to be like Mara and Eddie and have these amazing wins where, their companies are pretty locked in, set in stone, like they're not going anywhere. Let's shed some light for people that are new. Like let's try and relieve some anxiety, some stress, some worry of are we going to be able to provide for our families, our teams? Like, what would we do differently if we were to start over right now? For those of you that have done, 10, 15, 20 deals, maybe even a little less than 10, like what would we do differently today if we started over that would make it so we could see 2027 as a real estate investor? Open door. Anyone want to talk about that? I want to hear about it.
I'm going to say something really quick. I would do the first to market challenge. If you guys don't have that, do you guys offer that still or no? Or
Yeah, it's just not a live, it's just a pre-recorded.
okay, join that. I would not do prop stream. I would not do anything else. I would have the business plan, maybe not have the business plan right away, but like I would definitely do the first to market challenge. Don't focus on anything else. Um, have smartphone. Don't listen to anybody else. Smartphone is the best. I have made a lot of money just with the voicemail drops and everything, just with voicemail drops because it's my voice as opposed to my Filipino VA, who's been with me for 6 years, by the way. So her tonality has gotten a lot better, but it's me, my voicemail. Like I have a voicemail drop, right? And then I would, um, call, text, like manual text, and then send mail. That's like literally that's what I would do. If I could turn back the hands of times, I would not bring the data from PropStream. That was a big mistake, at least for me. That was a big mistake because it just bombarded all of my brain cells for to just focus on whatever. But it is what I'm taking advantage of now. Obviously, it's helping me. DataSift is helping me stack my list. So now I'm only marketing to people who are on seven different lists, believe it or not. Like it's crazy. But I'm only focused on those. I'm like, until they list or sell, I'm gonna get rocket ships then to them, whatever. So that's how I'm fixing that little problem that I created for myself. But if I was brand new today, starting fresh from scratch, I would, if I can, I would drive for dollars in my backyard. I'm like Eddie, I only wholesale in my backyard. And I've been able to dominate big time wholesalers, big time
Mhm.
wholesalers without spending a lot of money. Even with my big operation guys, like I only spend about $5,000 a month. Like honestly, I truly I don't spend a lot of money. I like to keep a lot of my money on profit first all the way.
Mhm.
Uh, but my systems are impeccable with like DataSift,
Mhm.
smartphone, and smarter contacts, but don't even think about smarter contacts.
Mhm.
I'll be honest with you. And you could do this by yourself. Just
Mhm.
dedicate 1 to 2 hours a day. You're going to outbeat all of your competition because they're too lazy. They don't want to get on the phones. So you're going to do this.
Mhm.
And then once you start getting to 10 to 20, $30,000 a month, maybe hire one VA, for now. That's what I would do. If you were to be like, take it all away from me today, I would be like, okay, I know what I'm going to do now. So DataSift, if you're not taking advantage of DataSift, I mean, you're insane. That's what I.
And I would add a little bit to it of the 5,000 a month is at her scale currently. Her company's matured a lot over the years. But if you took her process and scaled it back a few years, it's probably closer to that 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, much more manageable. Don't get don't feel that like don't get that hot flash of like, oh shit, like I can't do the 5,000 because you don't need it.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need it. That's just her scale. But if, like we said, if we just took that by the corner and squeezed it down, it would be a much smaller price, and she's working with a small set of data. Um, and then there's going to be jargon, you know, from everyone in here that kind of relates to them and their company and their style. Don't worry about the jargon so much. It's just we want you to get small data sets from the county, get a dialer, the cheapest dialer, and manually call it. If they don't answer, leave a voicemail, then leave them a text. And then at the end of the month, you find out who are all the people that I never got in contact with, and then you send them mail. We send mail. We like to recommend mail to really small, refined sets of data because it's one of the more expensive marketing channels. It's a very great marketing channel. A lot of people in here getting a lot of deals from direct mail. But with a company that's in its beginning stages that could be potentially fragile, we want to use our money wisely on our direct mail and make sure we're only sending it to the people that we never got in contact with the really cheap phone call or the really cheap voicemail or text. So that's what I would add to that. But otherwise, exactly what Mara's saying is exactly what we would also recommend. We would put our name on that. Um, there has been a few questions, and then we're going to have to wrap up this call. Let me just make sure I'm checking them. What? No. Where was it? It was what plan on smartphone. I actually don't remember the names of the plans that they have, but I imagine it's middle tier, bottom tier plan, Mara, or you top tier plan, or
Yeah, I'm on the $50 plan. Believe it or not, it's
yeah,
only
exactly.
yeah, but you
Yeah,
pay per minute, but like honestly, it's not that
yeah,
much. Before it was like they don't have unfortunately unlimited. But I don't know what it is. Like our connection rate is just so much better. Our phone numbers, guys, like we've been using the same phone number for like 2 years and it's not spam. Like we have them registered,
yep.
our phone numbers. We just recently registered them too, because of the new iPhone update and all that crap. Um, So we're spending about $1,000, Claudio, right now with our smartphone. And I perceive it's gonna even go lower because now I'm not gonna use the dialer. The dialer per seat is $90 a month. But again,
Hmm.
that really does bring us deals because we have the voicemail drop with my voice in it. So people
Yeah.
asking, like right now, somebody was like, "Hey, Mary, I got your voicemail. Yeah, we are interested in selling." Right? Like because my voicemail just says, "Hey, I'm so sorry. We missed you. We were calling about your property. We just want to know if you're interested in selling. If you are, please give me a call back at my number, and or text me, please, with the property address as well." Right? So like they'll you know, like Eddie says, those people who are wanting to do business with you are gonna communicate. The jackasses, the Karens, or whoever else, yeah, they're gonna be like, go F yourself, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Get them out of your way, you know?
Hmm. Beautiful. Yep. And then Juan Carlos said, "Do you throw any list on a one line?" You could throw any list on a single line, but if we are going to strictly click to call, we want it to be our best possible list. Um, the best list you can get, and this is coming from a data providing company, the best list doesn't come from us. The best list comes from your county. The reason being is because it's the fastest between when a list is created and a list is released. The fastest place to get it from is from the county. If you buy it from someone like us or anyone else out there that has data provides data, there's a gap between the time we get it and the time we release it. Now, does that mean you don't get data? It does not mean you don't get data. It means at a maybe like a more fragile stage of the company or in the beginning of stages of your company, or you're trying to add in a niche flow and you're really trying to get control of the spend and see how it returns, get it from the county, click to call it as soon as you can get it. If it's daily, get it daily. If it's weekly, get it weekly. That's literally the best thing you could do. On a one line dialer, yep, strictly click to call. Yep. Okanola, what's your question?
Yeah, how you doing, Missy? I want to
Good.
ask Maria a question. I know she says she's in Florida. What is I just moved. I used to do Indiana before. I just started again after doing the 5 day challenge. Which I am very optimistic about. Right now, I just moved my operation back to Florida. I'm in Florida, Orlando. So I just want to know what percentage of the ARB do you offer in Florida? Because I know it's a competitive market. It's
Yeah.
75% or 80. So I don't want to I don't want to do like 70 or 65 or something. So I will able to like you know, give the best offer. So I just want to know like what percentage of ARV do you normally use
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. You said what percentage do I use for
of ARV do you use to
Oh, ARV. How are you
yeah,
determining your ARVs?
and the
question?
percentage uh,
Yeah,
like
that's
it's okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's actually a really awesome question. Not so many people know that, but like here in Florida, especially, the market has gone down a little bit. However, Orlando is still like popping, right? Like it's very popular, it's in high demand if you get something off market. So if I were you, I would
I'm sorry. I'm focusing on Polk County though. Polk. That's what I'm focusing right
Polk.
now.
pull.
Polk County.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's still a hot market over there, depending. I would use Sift Map now that we have that available to us, but I think you need a pro account just to make sure you're not just going all broad because that's a competitive area. I'm in Southwest Florida. I think you asked where I was, but I'm in Southwest Florida, also very competitive. Um, but yeah, I'm usually right now at like 50% of whatever Zillow says or like whatever ARV is, just to give us an idea of where the seller's going to be. We're doing also a lot of wholesale deals with one of my buyers. So that has opened it up a little bit for us too. So those were going up a little bit closer to 70%, but the house needs to be really in really great shape. It needs to have a new roof, like certain criterias in order for us to be
So around 70% of ARV, right?
Yeah, but I would like you to be like no more than 60%, to be honest. Because you're gonna,
Okay.
yeah, because flippers are having a really hard time on their end product right now. things are sitting forever. They're not really making a lot of money. They have to give a lot of their profits, seller concessions and all of that stuff. Like this is where we're at right now, unfortunately. And like Eddie says, like our flippers are our customers. We have to take care of them. So it's like they need to make money, you need to make money, seller needs to make money. So that's why we need to be somewhere around, especially in Florida. Not everywhere, but most of Florida is my recommendation would be
Oh, okay.
50.
Okay. All
Play,
right.
right? Play with it. And now with Sift Map, we are able to see all of it. Like now you could see all the wholesale deals, all of um the what is it? Double closing. Oh my God. That to be at a click of a button to see that that's going to be gold for us as wholesalers because when they double close, guys, like now we know exactly, okay, 123 Main Street, we could farm that whole area exactly apples to apples, and we know we have to be at 120. I'm just saying, for example, right?
Okay.
Because then the flipper is going to pay 140 or something like that, right? Like we know we got to be somewhere on there. So those double closing data that SIFMAP is giving us, that's going to be game over for us because now there's no more guessing like what you and I are doing. Like we're like, oh, maybe 50, maybe 60. Like then we might be losing something because everybody in that zip code, they're closing at give or take 65%. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
we're not gonna, I lose a lot of deals because I go very low because I want to make my minimum is like 20 grand on each deal. Don't get me wrong. If I get 5,000, I'm never gonna say no to money, but
Of course.
I'm gonna try to be around that number if I can, if possible.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mary. I
That's great
appreciate it.
advice. Let's answer Brian's, and then we're gonna close it after that, and I'll have one thing to add after that, and then we'll close the call. So Brian's asking, what's your phone number registration process, real briefly? How are you doing that, Meryl?
Okay, so
And Eddie, if you have anything too, obviously
yeah.
add to that.
I just like first Orion, where did I go? I went to free registry. Oh, freecallregistry.com. I just did it on January 23rd. Freecallerregistry.com. You could, or just Google free caller registry. So you go and you register your phone numbers. Yeah, you go and you register your phone numbers. Just know, guys, they are gonna want your LLC. Okay, that's why, like what Eddie was saying, don't start cursing people out. Don't start like, getting nasty because I don't think it's gonna publicize, but there is now going to be a little bit of a link behind the scenes. So God forbid, shit hits the fan. Don't mean to answer. But yeah, we get a better response rate. We've always had our registry, but like I think you have to do it like every few months or something, and it's free, by the way. So they are not going to spam yourself. And then also, if anybody has like those darn, screening, just say this. It's been working. Nobody's been yelling at me so far, but if they yell at you, don't come back at me. But what I do is like, so if it says, please say your name or what the call is about, and I'm like, hi, can I speak to John? It's really urgent. And then they're like, hello, yes. And I'm like, oh, hey, John, how are you? I was calling you about, and then like they're like, oh no, I'm not interested. So thank God they haven't been like, that's not urgent. What the hell is wrong with you? So because our phone numbers are getting through, so the system is saying, oh, these numbers are not like just spammers or whatever. This is legit because nobody's saying no to them. So we just been doing that and it's been working really good to get us through.
I think I'm excited for people to try that. I'm calling this as urgent or whatever because I think you get you have an advantage. You have a nice sounding voice. If it's someone with a deep voice, hey, it's urgent. Like, get out of here.
Still does it too, but he's nicer. Sometimes
Yeah,
like I see some of our text message and I'm like, what are you doing? You're going back to back because, we got a jerk and, saying all this stuff. And he's so desperate to get deals. And it's like, dude, you
but
can't.
it sounds good, man. That sounds like a really effective thing. That sounds effective. I would definitely be using that if you're in this call.